together and welcome our special guest.
Welcome to the show, Todd.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so let's do this introduction. He said who you were, but who are you?
Well, my name is Todd, and I grew up in Houston, and somehow now I make a bunch of clothes and stuff for rock bands.
Tom. So, Todd, give us a little bit of background about, I know your whole story, but I'd like to know, you're based here in Houston, Texas. You're originally from here. You moved to L.A. Give me a little bit about how you made that jump about, you're in Houston. I know you grew up in the music scene. You're local. I'd like to really focus on the clothing line, and, you made that jump, and how did all that start for you?
Well, it was weird. Basically, I played in a bunch of bands when I was in Texas, and then, right around, I think it was 1999, I broke up with this chick, and the band broke up, and nothing was going on for me. I ended up in L.A., and so when I started a new band out there, I was like, well, I want some leather pants. I can't afford leather pants. I never find anything that I like.
And nobody makes them in your size.
They don't make them my size.
It's always issues.
It always looks crappy. The waist it's always too high. So someone showed me how to start making some of my own clothes. And the way LA works, I was just walking around a bunch and people started asking me. So I was like, I could pay.
Designing your own clothes, and if I'm correct, it was left somewhere, and then it kind of took off from there?
The really weird thing that happened was the girl, I didn't even have a sewing machine, so I borrowed my friend's sewing machine. And she was already kind of like a well-known designer. So what happened, I was making all these crazy vests with these big 70s cobras and stuff on the back that I screen printed. And somehow the guy that worked for Lenny Kravitz walked in there and he's like, I'll buy all the Cobra stuff if you want to sell it. And so she called me up and she was like, how much do you want for this stuff? And I was like, I don't know, $100 for a vest. And she's like, no, they're $550. So she told him, he bought 4 vests, so times $450. Exactly.
So basically it progressed from there, and how did it take off from there? What was your ideas, and what were your thoughts?
What was your next move? Because here's the thing. You're younger then. Something that you weren't even shooting for just happened, right? And now it's in front of you, and what are you going to do with it? Did you know what to do with it? Or,
the first thing I did was I quit my crappy screen printing job. And then I was like, oh, I better make clothes full time because someone has an interest. And the thing that's so weird about Los Angeles, because there's so much saturation of the entertainment business or whatever, is basically that stuff got out there and all these people started calling me. I really didn't do anything as far as promotion. I didn't have I don't think I had a website for the first 6 years.
It was basically word of mouth, people wearing your clothes, hey, where did you get that? I got it from Tod Waters. And how did you develop the name? Was it Tod Waters for the first 6 months, and then you just came up with this name?
I was always Junker, just because I'm into all this World War II stuff. A Junker is this dye bobber, the Stuka planes. So the first shirts I did and a lot of the first prints I did is all World War II stuff. So that's where the name Junker came from. The thing that's cool is you can think of it like that. You can also think of it kind of like a junkie. Could be like a junker. So I like the way that the word could kind of be like a mutation.
You can mutate it or manipulate it, and it can be called basically anything that you can create in your mind or in your physical being.
Yeah, so. It sounds like a Mad Max character.